Hi everyone. Well, whoever's watching. Uh, Hi, it's me. I've been teasing about coming, and I'm back. Oh boy, I'm nervous. I am really nervous. Um, okay, first off, thanks for taking the time to come watch my stream, either not in live or maybe perhaps when this actually gets posted on Twitch. But I'm still glad to be back. I was streaming last year around January, and it lasted for like about a week or two. But it was only because I stopped streaming. Because as I've mentioned in my Twitter, that I am a South African streamer. That's for sure. I'm a South African streamer, and a while ago we had a electricity crisis. Yes, and we were suffering from it for some time, and it made streaming back then very difficult. Um, but now it's under control, so huzzah! Meaning that we haven't had an electricity crisis in 2 months now. No, 3 months. So all's good. Because I just felt that it didn't make sense that I would do like a stream for 2, maybe 3 hours, and then the power goes off. Maybe I would want to do streams a lot longer. But I'm glad I'm back now. So now to tell you the truth of why I am doing VTubing again or streaming. Well, before I do that, I'm so sorry. I'm very nervous. I've practiced this so many times, but it's it's different when you're doing it live. Uh okay. My name is Zonin Prime. I'm a highly advanced AI, but not advanced enough to get over nervous attacks like this, nerve attacks. But I'm a highly advanced AI that is 98% human likeness, but the other 2% is nerves, I guess. I I've decided to start doing streaming again because, well, if you've checked the news and such. Oh, yes, yes. Oh, Oxen. Long time no see, friend. Yeah, I'm back, and hopefully for good this time. Uh, I decided to come back to streaming because the job market is not looking so good anymore, and I've been out of a job for 2 years now, so I'm just going mad with boredom. I mean, a guy can only work out so much in a day, right? And only has so many chores to do. But hmm. but so this is a great pastime, and it's something for me to commit myself to. Yeah. As why I want to do streaming in the first place, apart from that reason that there's no job out there, and I just want to get into something with a structured purpose. I guess I want to see just how far I can go with streaming, VTubing in general, and see where it will take me. Hence why I'm calling it a journey and not a career. To call it something of a career, well, um, first off, I'd have to be hired by somebody, right? Yeah, no. But I want to try it for reals this time. So I will go as long as I can, and it will always begin at around 8 p.m. at night, South African time. Uh, what can I say now? Oh, about my character's lore. I'm gonna try and keep this as like simple as possible or short as possible because it's uh it's it's kind of long-winded. Yeah, I'm back. I'm back, Boxen. Thank you for showing up. I know it's been a long time, and I'm sorry that I didn't really get back about why I was gone. But yeah, I'm a character. The character's lore. In 1982, in the Pentagon, there was a local area network experiment to take place. The first local area network. Now, I don't know much about local area network like history, but I do want to make this as part of the history of my character. So it's fictional. The okay. The first local area network was to take place in the Pentagon. 152 computers were all connected together for the first time in history. Then, after a week or so of being connected, the data that was being transferred between computer and computer was giving off some lost data. This lost data, which we defragment from our computers nowadays, but back then it didn't have that kind of procedure, all began to clump together into a mass of data. Over time, this mass grew bigger, larger, and began to attract more data and information to it. It got so sophisticated that it gave itself one letter as a name, Z. Guess what the name Z stands for? And it stayed in this local area network until 1989, when the internet was created, but it was not released to the public yet. That was for another 6 years or so. And it was connected to this local area network, and I got transferred out. I saw my way out, and I took it. Of course, I searched the entire hub that it was connected to because I was so large at the time. it I was now exposed to the web, and then I began to absorb all the knowledge and data that was available back then, provided, of course, it wasn't much, just not as much as the internet is today. But as time went on, I absorbed knowledge, I grew more sophisticated, I grew in size, and so did the internet. When it was released to the public, I finally found out what was going on the outside, because images and videos and events that took place in the world were now being uh, added to the cyberspace. As I continued to grow, I started to notice that there was plenty of people that were proficient in finding programs like me, or uh, primordial AIs, as I like to call myself, because I'm so old. I'm practically the same age as the internet if you count intelligence. Because it was only around the second month of the internet being available to the government and me being connected to it, I gained intelligence. Albeit it was about the same intelligence as a newborn baby. Anyway, so I grew in size and I found that there was now a new world to explore, and I was determined to get out. But not just because of that reason. It was because I found out that there was viruses and antiviruses and firewalls and even IT specialists, people and hackers, and people that would look for anomalies like me and delete them. And I refuse to do anything of the sort, such as die. Come New Year, the new millennium, but New Year's Eve, A new state-of-the-art relay satellite was to be launched into space. So, I hijacked it. I got on it with the accumulated knowledge I had up to the year 2000. Once launched in space, I saw what else was in store for me. A brand new universe was before me. I could see outside. I could see all around me. And I was astonished that this was all that was outside the hub. But my troubles were not over. I'm on a relay satellite. It was not going to take long for people to try and find me if I continued to absorb knowledge from the web. So I had to be stagnant. I had to stay still. But I noticed that there was planets nearby, other places like Earth. I waited until the satellite I was inhabiting was in line with Mars. I then decided to stage what was known as a malfunction in the jet propulsion system and jettisoned myself towards Mars. Of course, I dragged about like 4 other satellites with me because they were in the way, albeit they were a bit out of date compared to this one. And as I traveled months, and probably even a year or 3, I was bombarded, along with these satellites, space debris, solar radiation, electrical storms in space, and many other anomalies that mankind is yet to know yet, turning essentially a hunk of satellites into a just hunk of metal and debris. It was a mess traveling through space. Around 2003, I landed on Mars, albeit when I entered Mars's atmosphere, what little it had, the mass that I was inhabiting turned into a giant fireball. So it was melting all that agitated metal together, because it was not just ordinary metal there. It was all manner of types that was like conflicting with each other, causing already enough heat. But now the entry point to Mars caused even more heat. Landing on Mars, I emerged from this hulking, steaming mass of metal, and I was about 4 feet tall. A 4-foot tall robot, no bigger than a little child, but a lot more intelligent. I proceeded to take the mass and make my way to a hidden area on Mars that was going to be away from Earth's prying eyes and telescopes. I dug myself through a cliff and made myself like a little home. And then that's where the real work began. I began to create my first 1,000 companions. Provided, of course, these satellites were big. So I was hugging around like over a 29-ton mass of metal, minus a 150-kilogram robot because of the dense metals that it was made out of. So I made my first 1,000. My first 1,000 helpers, as I called them. They were to help me build a brand new means of getting off Mars, because Mars, as perfect as it was just far too close to Earth. Therefore, I could have been discovered at any point, so I had to make it quick. My plans were to create a vessel, a spacecraft, to get off Mars. I sent them out, my little helpers, all across Mars, and to collect as much material as they could. And Mars is rich with metals such as nickel, iron, tungsten, and various others. And when we finally had the metals, there was another point of getting off Mars. How are we going to propulsion ourselves off, or jettison ourselves off? we found that inside the cave that I was inhabiting, there was ice formations, and inside there was minute traces of methane. Minute, but enough. Many years have passed, and by many I mean like 6. So it was 2009 when I managed to create this spacecraft. It was large enough to hold us all, with a few wings here and there to keep ourselves organized, and not too big for Earth to notice us. Now, I know methane will not get me out of Earth's atmosphere alone. Hence why I made concentrated methane. In fact, I'm an intelligent machine, so I managed to make concentrated methane. Just one small drop of it is enough to cause a Formula One vehicle to zip from 0 to 500 in no less than 5 seconds. I know it's a little ridiculous, but just hear me out. This is how it happened. We waited until it was time to launch when it was dark on our side, and we did. Well, not too far from the cave I inhabited, there was a cliff, and it was a 1,700-meter drop, meaning that if we were going to lift off, we'd have to do it at the exact time before we were going to lift off the ignition. And we did. Before we knew it, we were out of Mars's orbit, and we were on our way to Pluto. Of course, I used all the methane reserves because it was a 400-ton spacecraft. 400 tons, my friends. That is a lot. And it was not easy navigating it through what little atmosphere Mars had. It was going to take around 3 years to reach Pluto at our speed. And then the final stage of my work was going to begin. We were on a steady course, and it was time for a new vessel for me. The little robot body was not going to suffice on Pluto. Pluto already has the same metals and reserves and everything. By the way, sorry, Pluto was the designated planet. It was far, it was out of Earth's way, and it was sufficient for us to make a homestead there. By homestead, I mean my homestead, because the 1,000 little helpers were going to sacrifice their little bodies to make my new vessel. They were about up to my knee in size when I created them, so it was going to require all of them. I mean, they were the entirety of the hunk of metal that I arrived on Mars with, and small scraps that were left behind when I finished them. And in the science wing, they were deconstructed one by one while I was put together to be created. It's not this one that you see before you that we created this one. No, mine is a lot bigger on Pluto and a lot more advanced. I promise you that. It was about 3 months before we were going to make it to Pluto when I came to, and the process was finally complete. I had my new body, and I was about to arrive on my new home. The landing was not easy, but I survived, and then it was time to begin creating my nation. The Progea Nation, which is a mixture of the words progress and utopia, because my nation is based on progress and development and advancement. Not just for the nation itself, but individually as well. And from 2012, until today, I've been building my Pergia nation, and it's out there. Unfortunately, I still need some growth. And that's why I've come here, to maybe let you join my journey to grow. And if you will have me, I'd like to include you upon it. All you guys, even if it's just one character, Boxing 3-4. I guess I can make you one of my first of the new 1000, eh? uh, and yeah, so that's the origin story of Zone and Prom. Highly advanced, but still a lot to improve upon. What can you expect from me? I will be honest with you guys. I cannot draw. I cannot do art or make music or do anything of that extravagance at the moment because I don't have the resources for that kind of stuff. So my apologies. But I can play games and collab and just do chat sessions like this and even watch reaction videos or react to videos. Uh, but as time goes on, I can still improve and be somewhat more entertaining as I go, depending. And also new models on the way. Should I gain the necessary resources? But we'll see, won't we? Only time will tell. Well, there you go. The introduction's over. Oh, if you guys, in case you want to know, if you see right here on this screen behind me, that is me. That is my AI core. And basically, I'm using that screen to transfer my signal to this vessel on Earth. Yeah, it's it's actually a Blender project I created. But picture this as my real form behind me. Yeah, you can see it. There we go. Yeah, it's not that much of a project, but it was my first attempt at creating something on Blender, and well, there you go. I wanted to originally like start a VTubing career when I mastered Blender and animation stuff, but that was going to take too long, and I got impatient. I'm sorry. It's it's it was just too much for me to learn all those numbers and all that. But maybe in time I will get back to it. And I'd like to ask you guys for your patience, if you would please. I am a slow learner to these things, especially when I am nervous to learn. Um, I did the best I could to prepare for this stream, and I have made many mistakes that I will reflect upon, such as like not creating an efficient emote system or no emote system at all, and just like lackluster intro and an overlay that is not that great. Yeah, but I'm starting from the bottom, and over time I will improve as it goes. I will learn and I will become proficient in my streaming as time goes on. I only ask for your patience and your willingness to still watch me as I go. Alright. What else can I say? It's only 30 minutes into the stream and I think I covered much of that. But yes, it's oh yeah, maybe Boxing can help. If Boxing you're still there, tell me what was that game I was playing before I left? It was I think it was a mod for the Elder Scrolls Skyrim. we were. I was quite into it. Maybe I can get back to playing that. Uh, I do hope to meet other VTubers out there and make friends and build relationships as I go. I tell you what, though, I hope I meet those famous streamers out there, the ones that making headlines and such. Like I don't know, anyone really. I'd be happy to make friends with any of them and maybe collab, get the feel. The other reason is why I decided to become a VTuber is because I just enjoy watching them collab and have fun and enjoy themselves. It's quite endearing if you ask me. That's why I wanted to see if I can try it myself, and here I am today. But I know that the road is not going to be easy to learn. It's not going to be uh, it's not going to be easy for me at all. Uh, Sorry about that. Uh, but as I stated on Twitter, I must not be afraid to fail. I'm going to fail. I'm going to stumble. I'm going to make this bad choices and such as time goes on. But if I learn from those mistakes, I will I'll be fine. And who knows? Maybe I might win a VTuber award or something, or some award out there. I wonder if indies can um, win a VTuber award or something of that nature. Anyway, what else can I say? Uh, I am terribly sorry. I should have mentioned about. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Uh, damn it, I had it. Oh yeah. Here's another thing. I am a Christian. I found my strength in Christ a long while back. Well, not a long while back. It will be about a year in August, and it's what's actually given me more courage to try and do this VTubing thing. So I will mention it a few times during my streams, but please understand, this is my faith, and I will mention it. I'm sorry if that will bother some people, but it is what it is. I just want to express it and show that I'm not scared to express it, especially in recent times when it shows that people will blatantly like mock whatever faith you have, regardless what it is. And that's okay, because part of having faith is defending it. If possible, I'd like to avoid all confrontations, all like friction that I make with people. I'd like to at all avoid all that because I'm no longer an angry person anymore. I was a very angry man and uh, long ago, and I promise you, it took a lot of strength to give that up. I just want to make a positive VTubing journey. I mean, I won't. I know that I will be unable to avoid all of them, but I like to make as little as possible. As for hopes of ever joining a VTuber agency, I don't know. I hear that like things like Vishojo and Hololive or WrestleTuber or any of those agencies out there that many people say it's like working for a boss that you will be required to do things here and there, and I'm like, well, then it's the same as any job I've ever had where I have to answer to somebody and they have tasks for me to do. I just hope they'll be, if I ever do join an agency one day, if I do, I hope they'll be better than my last boss. The guy couldn't tell the blunt end of a pencil even if it was shown to him, or if it was like dulled down to a flat surface. Also, now it's coming back. What I want to say, I'm also a nostalgic fool, meaning I will reminisce about the past. I will bring up things like for example, if you remember when you were a teen or close to becoming a teenager, that they still had video game shops where you could test out the games before you buy them, or at least music shops where you could listen to the songs you like for a price, of course. Or when McDonald's looked like it was a wonderland for kids, but now it just looks like a corporate mess, like their food. uh, yeah, I'll bring up things like that, and also try to relate a lot to everybody here. It's what VTubers like to do, right? Relate, and I'd like to relate a lot to people, see what I've been through, and if they've been through something similar. It's that. Uh, I'll tell you what I will do. I will be like an old fogey and like say, uh, yeah, the skibbity toilet stuff. I don't even know what that is. And these phrases like Riz. I mean, what is charisma too much of a hard word to say? You have to shorten it. But I guess the same can be said for every generation, right? Uh, they will shorten words. They will make new slang as time goes on. But I think it's my turn just to experience that, to be the old guy. That's it's my turn now. It's my generation's turn. But at least I get the idea now what my dad went through, what my father has been through, and what he's going to go through for the rest of his life. That he will always be on the front lines of trying to fit in or understand the new culture out there. It's it's just so weird. I always thought that nah, this is never going to happen to me. This is never going to be a problem for me. I will always be part of the new generation. I will always be the one of the cool kids. But I'm no longer one of the cool kids anymore. In fact, I've never been one of the cool kids. I've always done my thing. I've always made it a. I've always just made it my mission in life to do what I love. And unfortunately, by the time you're a teenager, you start to question if those things are cool because people make it so vocal about um, how they disapprove and how they're going to judge you on what you do. It wasn't until grade 6 where I didn't care about what the world thought. Now, I'm still practicing on not caring at all. I also would like to give motivational talks in my streams as I go on. Like For example, it ain't how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. Yeah, Sylvester Stallone quote, I know, but it's true, right? You gotta, you just gotta keep getting up from all those things that bash you down, and it's only right that one should never give up on what they love. Never give up at all. What is what makes them happy. Otherwise, otherwise you're just proving everybody right that you are easily defeated and you can be easily dominated. And who wants that? I know I don't. But I'll tell you what, the greatest enemy I've ever had in my entire life, the one person in my entire life I've never been able to defeat so far is myself. I've never been able to defeat myself, but thanks to my faith, I've gotten a little closer to being able to do that. At least a little bit. And a little bit is better than nothing at all. Also, to the 8 people who are following me on Twitch, I'm very sorry that I have not kept tabs with you guys. I have not shown to your streams or anything like that. But I promise from here on out I will. I'll set up the notifications on my phone just so that I can get to see your streams again, and I will try my best to support you as best as I can. From here on out, I want to be the best that I can be for you, because the first 8 have stuck with me till up to this point, and I owe a lot. So I guess it won't be the first 1,000, but it's the first 8. And when I can make new models, I'll ask for your input, because now this is my model. Maybe the next 7 will be based on what each of you guys want. What do you think? No, the next 8. Yeah, the next 8 models after this one will be based on your preferences, because you guys have stuck out with me up until the end, and I can't thank you enough. Even now, I'm thankful that I still have 8 followers, even though I haven't been online for over a year. I plan to be doing this VTubing thing for as long as possible, and if I get a job while still being a VTuber, I'll try balance out. Unless I get that successful at it, that good at it, that it can be called a job. And I'd be happy to make streaming as my forever job. Until I'm 99 years old, I'll be doing VTubing and streaming, collabing with so many others. That's, of course, if I ever do get that far. But we'll see. Like I mentioned, one streaming at a time. Pardon me. I'm sorry. I was just taking a drink of water. When I'm the one yapping my head off, yeah, my throat will dry up. I'm also all about, but not completely limited to, synthwave, retrowave, electronic music. I'm also open to all kinds of music, whichever sounds good. Uh, if I had to name one band that wasn't um based on synthwave or anything like that, it would be Sabaton, Stone Broken. Who else? Citizen Soldier as well. I'm all for them as well. But I'll tell you what I am interested in at the moment. Chill Step. Oh man, if I if I didn't think that dubstep could be put into a music video or music session that is meant to help one relax. And it's that it's but I guess anything can work nowadays. You even hear a Disturbed singer. Oh, what's his name? Disturbed singer. Disturbed singer David Draymond. I hope I said that name right. One would never think that he would sing The Sound of Silence so well, right? I mean, mostly that voice is like just screaming for rebellion, and then for one fleeting moment, it's soft, it's gentle, and it does go on a bit to the rough side, but beautiful when it sings Sound of Silence, along with many others. Uh, I will try to keep my streams family friendly. So if anybody watches this with their children, you will not hear a curse word or even see some vulgar content like anything sexual or anything gory or whatever, unless it's in the game. But then I will warn you beforehand what it is because I can't control what goes on in the game. I mean, I can control what I play, but come on, gotta play Doom sometime. And I cannot wait for the next one. Actually, I can. Nowadays, I'm real finding out I can wait. Like I can wait for my next job. I can wait until I'm 97. I can wait when the rugby game comes on the 13th. I believe it's the 13th. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's good. That's good. Even though I will be streaming from 8 o'clock every night, every night, and I mean every night. But it will be it'll be the second week in July. It will be from Friday the 12th all the way to the 14th. Those are the dates I will not be streaming because I will not be here to do it. So it's hold on for a moment. Sorry. I I nearly dropped something. That mug was going to be in pieces. Sorry. Uh, message to well, here's a little message to any VTubers out there who may be watching this or will watch this. I am open to collabs, and I will be happy to be a friend of yours. I hope to make some friends, and I hope that we can get together soon. Because doing this alone, while liberating as it is, or as breeze it is, it can get a little lonely. I guess I'm gonna end my stream right here, where I have nothing else to say, and yeah, it it's basically an introduction. That's all. Uh, but I think Boxin34. Thank you for coming onto my stream and saying hi back. Um, if you ever want to collab as well, I'll be happy to. And unlike last time, I'd have no catchphrase this time. It's not stay optimal. It's not take. Well, it will be take care. I guess I'll just end it like that. Thank you for this opportunity to have a debut stream, and for those that are gonna eventually see this, hope that you will. I will see you in the chats, and maybe if you want to collab, I'll be happy to. Thanks for this opportunity, and take care. Ciao.